Hey everybody, how you doing today? Hey, it's been a while since I posted a video. I had a couple of them started and then they just didn't work out the way I wanted. But I've had several comments and questions over the last 2 weeks since my last video, and on all my videos in general about the UPS PVD. So I'm going to do a question and answer type FAQ thing here. So stick around, here we go. First up, I've got some photos here of the Speedwagon filled up with packages, and then I've got a picture or two here of my dash camera and iPad setup. The iPad is in one of those clamshell keyboard units that I have velcroed to the dashboard, and I've got power running everything. As you can see here, I've got one of those three-way power ports plugged into my power port along with USB powered, so I've got power for all of the devices during the day. I should mention that I have the iPad on the dashboard to help me find addresses. Yes, the UPS mobile app on the phone that they provide has GPS Google Maps on it, but I've found it's a little easier and a little quicker for me to sometimes just tap the find icon on the iPad and just shout the address at it, and then I do not have to utilize the app on the phone that they provide. I can use that to reference and look for the package on the address and the 1000 number and so on. But the other thing is the iPad, of course, has a much larger screen, and in some cases when I've gotten to what I think is the proper address of a house, but I can't tell because they have no numbers on their house, I can see the actual house from the Google Maps road view, and on at least 2 occasions that has told me that is the right location to deliver the package. Okay, so that's why I'm running the iPad. I mean, it's just kind of a convenience thing, and I get these cool little screenshots for you. So first things first, if you saw my previous video where I was talking about taxes, and I indicated that we were some form of contract worker because there were no federal taxes taken out of my check, which was for my orientation, which was just a little under 2 hours. That was incorrect, and I have since deleted that video. We are in no way any kind of form of contract worker. Taxes were taken out of my next full-time check where I had like 10 hours for the week. So taxes are taken out. We are not contract workers. So that rolls right into pay. It is $21 an hour and 53 cents a mile mileage. We're paid weekly. Payday is on Friday, and I'm pretty pleased to report I haven't seen this personally for quite some time in my other work areas, but overtime is accrued on a daily basis. So like the one day where I worked 10 hours, I had 8 hours of straight pay, 2 hours of overtime. I did not get 40 hours for that week, so overtime is on a daily basis. That rolls into my personal hours. If you've watched the other videos, I was working that university housing complex at one point in time, and I was getting a lot more hours the 2 or 3 days that I ran that route, but I really wasn't built for that route with all the stairs and everything, and I live in a small town in Nevada, just 8 miles outside of Ames, where the UPS hub is located, and it made more sense that, and initially was going to be that I was in Nevada. I have now been switched full-time over to Nevada. I'm not nearly getting the hours as of right now that I thought I might, but I'm fine with that because I know a lot more hours are coming. But that's just the way it is with my personal experience with the route and the area that I am working. I've been getting a solid 3 hours per day, and like I said, more is to come. I am, however, getting like triple the mileage as I was just driving in circles around that apartment complex over by the university. Us PVD drivers have been given these mesh Velcro vests that have that reflective tape on it, and of course the UPS logo and seasonal helper on the back, and these are to help identify you out in public. I kind of like that. I mean, I haven't had any issues yet with people looking at me a little cross-eyed, which they have a couple of times as I jump out of my truck and deliver them a package, but I just say, hey, I'm with UPS seasonal helper, and they're more than happy to get their package. Haven't really been into too much inclement weather just yet, but it has been pretty cold here this fall in Iowa. And I've got another vest, a lightweight hunting style vest that I wear underneath the UPS vest, and then a long sleeve shirt. And with the Expedition being a V8, I can make some serious heat in that truck. And of course it has the rear heat also. Sometimes I'll just leave the rear heat on and have the dashboard heat or the defroster heat off, because it gets pretty warm in there. But so far I haven't been too bad. But along that lines, I want to talk about, you know, we have to use the app. So if you're going to want a pair of gloves, you're going to need the gloves that you can tap a cell phone display with. I don't have those, but I think I'll be okay because I'm just running from the truck to the house real quickly, even in bad weather. But when we're sorting the boxes and the packages, back in another job where I used to work with a lot of corrugated cardboard, we had gloves that I have seen in like hardware stores. They're a white cotton glove with black plastic dots all over them, and they're kind of grippers. And I'm going to get a pair of those for use here loading the truck and sorting the packages initially. I probably won't wear them during deliveries. But if you know what I'm talking about, I'll try to find a picture of those and maybe talk about it in a later video. But they're plain white cotton gloves with black rubbery plastic dots all over them, and especially in the fingertips and the palm. And they really do a great job. They're like suction cups to cardboard. So if you can find something like that, I highly recommend you get them. Since my last video on the mobile app on the phones that they provide to us, there has been an update to that. The interface has changed rather dramatically and has made it a lot easier for us PVD drivers. Some of it was geared toward the UPS drivers themselves, and it had things about checklists and so on that you had to tick in order to proceed to the next page. But otherwise it's pretty much the same, but I find the interface a lot more user-friendly. I think I touched on this in the mobile app, but sorting the packages, UPS uses what they call a 1,000 lot system, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and so on. And these packages are grouped in these 1,000 lots pretty much in a geographical area. So one section is all 1,000 and one section is all 1,000, so to speak, in your town or by streets. You know, your experience is going to be different, but I found that it's pretty close to the way it should be, and sometimes there's a little bit of bleed through, if you will, from 1,000 lot to a next 1,000 lot. But as I've worked with it, I've kind of developed a game plan on how I am going to approach this, especially during busy season. We do get lunch breaks and other breaks, 10, 20, 10. You know, you don't punch out for those kind of breaks. I really haven't utilized them since I haven't done but one full day. I just work a couple hours a day, like I said. But pretty much, you know, I'll pull over for lunch, or even the couple times that I've been out over lunchtime during the hours that I have worked, I'll just stop at a convenience store, get a piece of pizza, or I've taken a sandwich with me and kind of eat on the fly. Had some other questions about vehicles. Person indicated, what if I joined UPS as a PVD and I wish to change my vehicle? If that were to be the case and you own the vehicle, it was just a second vehicle, and you decided that that would be a better vehicle for what you're doing, contact your manager. They're probably going to have to get the registration and the insurance information for that vehicle and then take pictures of it also. The thing about the personal vehicles, as you probably already know if you've jumped through some of the hoops to get hired on as a PVD, is no bumper stickers, no signage on the vehicle, you know, for your own personal business or whatnot. It has to be pretty clean. And I had an individual on the video talking about the vehicle indicate that he went to the interview process and everything went fine until they saw his vehicle, and he had pretty severe aftermarket tint on the windows, and he indicated that that was a deal breaker as far as UPS is concerned. I don't have any confirmation on that, but take it for what it's worth. And now a little bit of a rant. I've never been in the delivery business before, but I'll tell you what, nobody puts a house number on their house anymore. Some of them are on the mailboxes out on the side of the road, and that's all fine and dandy if the mailbox is on the side of the road as the house. When the house is on the other, when the mailboxes are on the other side of the street than what the house is, or put it this way, if the mailboxes are on one side of the street, you might not be quite sure which house is which. And I'll tell you, at least in my area here, the numbering system is ridiculous sometimes. You'll go from, say, a 2018 to a 2032 and nothing in between. So you just can't assume sometimes that the next house is the house that you're looking for. The other thing is I've seen some pretty ridiculous signage on the houses when people do have numbers. It's a brown house and they have brass numbers. You can't even see that in the daytime. And then you get into some of these subdivision neighborhoods where everybody has to conform, and they have numbers that are impressed in the brickwork that every townhouse has, and that's fine and dandy. I mean, you can see those when you know where to look for them. Some of them are only about 2 feet off the ground. Okay, enough of that rant. Addresses, oh man. But let's roll right into that. The one day I worked over 10 hours, I was in the dark for about 3 hours during the delivery time. I have one of these little tactical flashlights that run off of AAA batteries, and I strongly recommend that if you have any anticipation of working in the nighttime hours, that you have some sort of flashlight with you just to help you in the car and look for the proper packages, but possibly also to shine on the mailboxes that are out on the street side. And I have also used mine to shine them up on the house to see if I can find a address on the house, and I do it real quick, and so far no complaints. And probably one of the last things I'd recommend that you're doing, I have a pad of paper and a pen and a Sharpie in my vehicle to jot down little notes. There is a new subdivision that we have in our town that is not on GPS Google Maps yet, and it's a pretty small division, and it's called Indian Hills, so all the street names are like Apache and Cherokee and Dakota and so on and so forth. And I've kind of scribbled myself little notes about which direction the numbering system is. It's the opposite of everything else in town, and which street is which, and running north, south, east, or west. Just have a Sharpie, a pen and a pad of paper, and you'll be good to go. Alright, well, I think that's about it, guys. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the way things are going. I'm not getting the hours that I anticipated right now, but I know more are coming, and I'm in my town and not in that university housing, and I'm just fine with that. Alright, keep the comments and the questions coming, and I'll do another one of these. Overall, I'm doing good. I'm having fun. I'm glad this worked out for me. Talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching.